Hey guys, it's Clara from Online Fabric Store. Yoga mats are awkward to carry on their own, so I'm going to show you how to make a yoga mat bag. It has a zipper compartment, a pocket, and is fully lined. So let's get started. The materials you'll need are 1 yard medium weight outer fabric, 1 yard light to medium weight lining fabric, a 7-inch zipper and a 30-inch zipper, scissors, thread, a ruler, pins, a fabric marker, an iron, and a sewing machine with a zipper foot. Cut the following pieces out of both the outer and lining fabrics. The main panel, which is 28 by 20 inches, the large pocket zipper piece, which is 18.5 by 11 inches, the small pocket zipper piece, which is 2.5 by 11 inches, and 2 7-inch circles. You can print out our pattern piece to use as a template. I'm using medium weight outdoor fabric for the outer and lining fabrics. If you use a lighter weight fabric, you may want to use an interfacing to stiffen the fabric. If you plan on washing your bag, pre-wash and dry your fabric. From just the outer fabric, cut the strap, which is 10 by 34 inches, and 2 zipper extenders, which are 6 inches long and the width of the smaller zipper. From just the lining, cut the binding, which is 20 by 2 inches. On the long sides of the main panel, iron in the edges 1/2 inch. Fold the shorter sides in half and mark the center point at the crease by making a small snip into the fabric. Fold in half again, not counting the 1/2 inch at the ends, and snip at the quarter points. Repeat on the other end. Find the quarter points of the circle by folding it in half and snipping, then fold it in half again and snip. Do the same thing for the other circle. Mark all the snips on the front of the circle and the back of the main panel. Cut into the shorter sides of the main piece about 1/4 inch deep and 1/2 inch apart. This makes it easier to sew around the circle. Place the circle and the corner of the main panel together with right sides facing. One of the marks on the circle should line up with the 1/2 inch crease on the panel. Start to sew around the circle with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Backstitch at the beginning and end. Match up the quarter marks as you go. Repeat for the other end. Iron the zipper extenders in half and press the ends in 1/2 inch. Sew the folded sides to the ends of the zipper. Place the zipper between the 2.5 by 11 inch pieces so the edges line up. The lining and zipper should be facing up and the outer fabric is facing down. With the zipper foot on your sewing machine, sew down the edge close to the zipper. When you get close to the zipper pull, lift the presser foot, move the zipper pull up, then continue sewing to the end. Do this again to sew the other side of the zipper to the 18.5 by 11 inch pieces. Iron the seams before top stitching close to the zipper on both sides. Press the binding in half. Fold the edges into the crease and iron. Fold in half and press once more. Fold the binding over the top edge of the pocket zipper panel and sew. Draw a line down the center of the panel. Pin the panel to the bottom of the main piece. Sew up the center line starting from the bottom. Pivot at the binding and sew on top of the stitches on the zipper half of the panel. Sew around the sides and bottom just to hold the edges together. Trim the fabric so the edges are even. Fold in the sides 1/2 inch and iron. Fold the strap piece in half lengthwise and iron. Fold the edges into the center crease and press. Refold and sew down both sides of the strap 1/8 of an inch from the edge. Mark the center of the ends on the strap. Mark the quarter points on the outer panel and circles and snip the panel edges like before. Line up the midpoint of the strap with a mark on the circle and sew together. The strap should overhang the circle slightly. Place the corner of the main panel facing down on the circle and strap so the center point is lined up 1/2 inch in from the corner. Sew around the circle with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Open the seam and sew across. Repeat for the other end. Turn the outer bag so the right side is facing out. Place the zipper face up on the opening of the lining. Fold the edges in 1/2 inch and pin one side of the lining to the zipper. The zipper is a bit longer on each end than the opening. With the zipper foot, sew down the length, backstitching at the beginning and end. Open the zipper all the way up, pin the other side, and sew. Place the lining into the outer bag. Fold in the edges 1/2 inch and pin on one side. When you sew, you might not be able to start all the way at the beginning because the foot can't go over the bulky end. After finishing the side, go back to the beginning and sew in the other direction. Pin the other side. Before sewing, make sure to move the zipper pull a little in from the end so it doesn't get stuck inside the bag. Sew the final side, starting a little in from the end. The last section near the zipper pull will have to be hand sewn because the machine can't reach it. With a needle and thread, use the backstitch to finish sewing the side. Zip it up and the bag is done. The zipper opening makes it easy to put the yoga mat in and take it out. Thanks for watching this OFS project and namaste.